So my nurse just came because the soup that they gave me, I couldn't eat it on my own. So she came to feed me. And then I got up to walk. And just in the room, up and down. So the room is quite big, so up and down the room. And then I got to the mirror. And I turn around and look in the mirror. When I turned around and looked in the mirror, everything looks the fucking same to me. Everything looks the same. Everything looks the same. It didn't look no different from how I came in. I didn't need another lipo. And nobody has to tell me. I don't need for anyone to tell me that. I brought this down on myself because I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what I've done and I know what I'm doing. I had to gain weight. I had to gain weight in order to get fat to put in there. And I gained like 15 pounds. Yeah. Just so I could get fat to put in there. To put myself through all this pain again. For it to look the same. I'm not looking for sympathy from no one, because as I said, I know what I'm doing, but that's one who messed it up in the first place. And I specifically asked for a doctor who could fix it.
Cooked. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I couldn't do any more crying. It's just too much. My brain couldn't do it. But anyway, at the end of the day, man, this just goes to show why you shouldn't even put yourself in that predicament. You don't think the way that you're born here, unless you have to go into the knife for specific reasons, like, okay, this tumor is going to off you, man, you should probably stay away from that knife, man. It's not worth it for cosmetic surgery, I promise you. But y'all ain't gonna learn. Y'all gonna keep doing it. I already see it coming.
I know for motherfucking fact what these hoes saying about y'all motherfucking BBL stinking is the truth. And I'm gonna tell you why. So I used to work in a nightclub, bartender, whatever. And then I used to, who knows me know, I used to manage fucking females, like industry bitches. So, yeah. So, as y'all know, other than it feeling like a sack of sand in a sandbag, that shit, if your body's rejecting it, has a weird ass motherfucking smell. So, just to give you a little ideal of how it smells, just think about broccoli. You ever had broccoli sitting out for like 2 days? And you be like, what the fuck? Like, that's the perfect way I can explain it. It smells like sitting out for 2 days broccoli. And it's because technically it don't be you. Well, do be you, because now you can't open your ass and get in your ass and clean your ass. But it's also because your flesh is rotten, is ruined. And then your body could be rejecting it. It's a lot of reasons why your shit stink. Bro, you can't do nothing about it but get it removed, because like If your body's rejecting it, it's going to come out. It's going to come out of any hole closest to where that needs to escape. So, yeah. BBL's really...
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
So my question is it really worth walking around smelling like raw broccoli just for a look? Cause that's, I mean, I don't know, man. To smell like raw broccoli too, that's a whole nother thing. And as far as this lady's like explaining, it's not really coming from whether or not you wash up properly. This is coming straight from the actual procedure, which is pretty nasty. I don't know if I could do it.
So I got a BBL last month, and this is how I ended up in the emergency room and ICU. So I'm not making this video to scare anybody. I'm doing this purely for informative purposes and to kind of let you know what this all procedure involves and to give you a different perspective on it. And I want to start off by saying I don't necessarily regret what I did. I just wish it didn't turn out this way. Because I do love my results, and I don't like to say I regretted I did something when I 100% wanted to do it in the first place. Okay, so where do I even start? Okay, so let's start with pre-op. So I get down to Miami the day before pre-op. I go into pre-op, everything's good, the vibe is good. I meet the doctor, he's very realistic in what he can do for me. Go back, we do the drug test, the pregnancy test that's required to make sure you're not going under anesthesia, pregnant, or with drugs in your system. The doctor comes and he marks me up, and then we just talk about my results again. He again, just being realistic about the results to expect, okay, fast forward, I have the procedure. The anesthesiologist, all of them are just being really cool. I go in, walk into the room, lay down. Then I just knock out, boom. I didn't even graduate, it was just boom. And then I remember waking up on my back and I had to flip over to my stomach. I was in a lot of pain. I was shaking because the room was super cold. Even the nurses were saying, no, it's okay to be cold. And I remember just being like, hello. I was just like, nurse, like I was trying to get the nurse. I was like, is it normal to be shaking? Is it normal to have a high blood rate? Or is it normal to have a high heart rate? But all that stuff was normal right after. And I remember I was bleeding a lot. I lost a lot of blood to the point where they had to put an extra doggy pad in my faja because I was just dripping so much. Okay, so some days go by, I'm in pain, but I feel okay the first couple of days, and it's probably like that third or fourth day where I just don't start feeling okay. And I believe this is primarily due to all the blood that I lost. My hemoglobin was at a 15 going in, which is pretty good. The average is like 11, 12, maybe even 13. 15 was pretty high for hemoglobin. That was good going in. So just keep that in mind. Fast forward, I believe I had a post-op appointment 5 days later, and I go in. And my heart rate's like standing, it's like 140. And that's really bad. Like my average heart rate was like 70, 80 before the procedure. 140 is like I'm exercising, I'm working out. That's really high. That's tachycardia. And the nurse said it was okay, that it could just be a response to the trauma that happened to my body. But it turned out to not be okay. And maybe that's the case for other people, but for me, it just didn't get any better. So I leave Miami, I go back home. And probably I believe this was day 8 or 9, I start to develop a fever. And I'm looking at all my incision sites. None of them are red, swollen, or indicating any type of infection. So I thought, okay, maybe it's just like a flu. Maybe I contracted COVID. Maybe it's just regular virus because it's also flu season. So I waited a day. It doesn't get better. So I go in the next day to the ER. And honestly, they were very good. The hospital that I went to treated it very seriously. Like, because post-op infections, if you get an infection and it gets into your blood, it could be this thing called sepsis, and then your organs can start to shut down. It could just be a whole mess. So I get to the ER, we're doing blood work. They can't get an IV on me. 2 people got to come in because my veins are not very visible. If you could see, they're not very visible, so it could be hard to get an IV on me sometimes. They were just taking blood. Also, another thing that made me go to the hospital, I had a seroma right here, and it was really hurting when I pressed on it, and it was red and swollen, so I thought that may be an infection. We do a CAT scan. It turns out I had cellulitis on my skin, so they wanted to admit me to the main ER so that they could drain it and do a biopsy on it with the intravenous doctors. And they also put me on sepsis alert because there was a possibility that I could have had an infection because the labs that came back, my inflammation markers were extremely high. And we were waiting for they had to also send some other blood work to the lab for it to grow to see if there's any type of infection, but they didn't know yet. So we just treated it like it could have been sepsis. So bad. Oh, and mind you, I'm on my stomach this whole time because even though I was in the hospital, I was not going to mess up my results. And also, not that it hurt so bad to be on my butt. Like, I thought it was going to pop like a pimple. Like, I had to be on it for the CAT scan, and I had to lay on my back for the CAT scan. It hurt really bad. So I knew I couldn't be in the hospital on my butt. And I was not messing up my results either. I came this far. I didn't come this far just to come this far.
Sorry I made y'all sit through that. Man, look. If you're hearing all the things this lady went through, and apparently she got part 2, I'm not doing all that. It's too much. But if you're hearing all the things this lady went through and you still think that it's worth getting a BBL or having your significant other go through that nonsense, you're insane. I mean, I don't get the low self-esteem coming off of these videos. Like, I really don't get it, man. I guess they say they doing it for themselves, but it ain't worth it to me. So that's gonna be the end of the video, y'all. If y'all like what y'all saw, come back and hang out with me. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload. Also, join the Discord, link is in the bio, and I'll see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.